a native of Efera. Her people lived deep within the northern jungles, far from civilization and far from the burgeoning city of New Verdalka. Her people took pride in living off the land, communing with the spirits of the earth, and maintaining the ways of the old gods. Alec is the first daughter of the chieftain and first in line to one day become chieftain herself, though she much prefers running about in the trees, wasting times with the cubs, or hunting for the lost treasures of the old times. She may be sharp, fearsome with her greatsword, and a lover of her people, but a leader? She wasn't quite sure that was what she wanted for herself. That decision was made for her, though, the day the men from the south arrived. Men of the cities, men of kings and money and of power. Men looking to expand, looking to take what wasn't theirs. Times were quickly changing. She was told upon their arrival that the old gods were dead, and soon their way of life would be as well. A bloody fight ensued, many were killed, and not many of her people managed to survive the attack. Many of their rival and neighboring tribes fared no better. Her father, pulling her away from heartache and death, told her to run, to leave her land, to leave her home, and to head for New Verdalka, to gain power there, rise in the ranks of the people, to make them understand, to put an end to this taking of their land. And so, she ran. Morganix Amela is not an adventurer, thank you very much. She's a librarian. She would have been perfectly happy living out her days in a life committed to study and charity. A calm, quiet life where nothing more terrible than the accidental burning of toast ever happened. Sadly, that was just not in the cards. Morganix was an only child when her dreams took on a decidedly odd turn. They were fuzzy at first. She would wake knowing something unusual had occurred, and her dreams had felt not normal. She eventually was able to remember a male voice speaking to her, and eventually that voice named itself. Galadar. During a night of uneasy sleep, Galadar came to her with a dire warning. An evil person with a great weapon of power had died in a secret tomb in a nearby forest. He urged Morganix to retrieve the weapon so that it could be turned over to the right people. Upon discovery of the hilt, she stared at it with utter bewilderment. Morganix raised her eyes to see a rough-looking mercenary, an arrow notched, ready to pierce her heart. At that moment, the hilt began to speak to her. In a state of panic, Morganix couldn't later recall what exactly it had said. She only knew that it had promised to get her out of that place alive if, well, something. In an instant, Morganix was safely back in the forest. She ran far, far, far away, and, well, just far enough away to safely have another panic attack. Upon return to the College of Hearthcrest, she had an idea, and it was as good an idea as any. She decided to go to Efera. There was a senior member of the college who studied anomalies like this. She swore she would take a year, just 1 year, to overcome her fear of this thing. She would either master it or find a way to contain its evil, if it truly was evil. She would study and understand it in a safe place, far, far, far away from the people she loved. Varnast Halmaru is a Tempest cleric from the Western Salamander. He serves the gods of Estitia and Acadia, the primordial embodiment of water and wind. His faith and unwillingness to bend his morals won him the respect of his peers, but also the ire of his superiors. When we first met Varnast, he was a member of the Golden Shield, serving under Agatha Durandon. However, she grew tired of his disapproval towards her actions and ultimately had him killed at the hands of his own comrades. Yet, this would not be the end of Varnast. He awoke in a nearby jungle, receiving a vision from a spirit in the form of a wolf. He was shown the party and knew that he was tasked to protect and aid these people. Now, Varnast serves as a protector for the party, though his stubbornness and ruthless nature towards those he deems evil has led to contention at times. Sayla was born in the Seraph. Her mother and father were lowly followers. They worked long hours as laborers and seemed content with their lives, happy to be what they were and nothing more. They preached about humble beginnings and using peaceful methods to solve problems. They stuck close to their religion and never swayed, trying to teach their daughter the same. Unfortunately, life would find a way of twisting that girl into be something else. She was never meant to be a lowly follower of a laborer in the great city of the Seraph, nor was a life of peace and humble ways appealing to her. Self-centered, and nothing like what her parents wished her to be. She grew up going against their wishes. She always seemed to be in a constant state of rebellion. Eventually, this led to her father having no choice. She was cast out, forced to live on her own. She learned, and she grew, joining the Thieves Guild where she honed her skills. It was there that she learned more about the world, that there was so much more than just the Seraph. She also learned that she had a knack for murder. She had taken a job as a hired killer. Merchants are incredibly cutthroat beings. They'll do anything to stay on top. Some years passed and she finally had made enough gold to move. She had chosen the city of New Verdalka for its cutthroats and its vibrant culture. A colorful place, perfect to rise up and make something of yourself, unlike her stagnant home of the Seraph. She would travel to Efera to start her new life. From there, she would hide what she was doing behind a treasure-hunting persona. She would take contracts on the side while hunting a fortune to boost her status. It was time to live and let the fun begin. Zamir Dragu, more affectionately known as Cyrus, is a wild magic tiefling sorcerer from the city of Sloshtedt. Or, at least so he thought. Troubled by his lack of knowledge or memory of his gift of wild magic, Cyrus finds himself drinking to dull and suppress his innate magical abilities. Originally fleeing from New Verdalka from the city of Dragon's Bay after seizing an opportunity during a gambling match and a wild magic accident. Cyrus has a checkered past with Duradine Dupree, who is now in pursuit of both the group and their current objective. While Cyrus is still his own biggest fan, he has found himself to care for his companions of happenstance. They stand by him after magical surges and learning details of his checkered and indulgent past. He hides most of his emotion through alcohol or a laugh, but can lash out through a wild magic, whether intentional or not. Now, Cyrus sees an opportunity not only to sever his tie to his past that still threatens him, but to potentially rewrite his past as a whole and find out who he really is and where his magic comes from. Alex Silverfoot is a native of Efera. Her people lived deep within the northern jungles, far from civilization and far from the burgeoning city of New Verdalka. Her people took pride in living off the land, communing with the spirits of the earth, and maintaining the ways of the old gods. Alec is the first daughter of the chieftain and first in line to one day become chieftain herself, though she much prefers running about in the trees, wasting times with the cubs, or hunting for the lost treasures of the old times. She may be sharp, fearsome with her great sword, and a lover of her people, but a leader? She wasn't quite sure that was what she wanted for herself. That decision was made for her, though, the day the men from the south arrived. Men of the cities, men of kings and money and of power. Men looking to expand, looking to take what wasn't theirs. Times were quickly changing. She was told upon their arrival that the old gods were dead, and soon their way of life would be as well. A bloody fight ensued, many were killed, and not many of her people managed to survive the attack. Many of their rival and neighboring tribes fared no better. Her father, pulling her away from heartache and death, told her to run, to leave her land, to leave her home, and to head for New Verdalka, to gain power there, rise in the ranks of the people, to make them understand, to put an end to this taking of their land. And so, she ran. Morganix Amela is not an adventurer, thank you very much. She's a librarian. She would have been perfectly happy living out her days in a life committed to study and charity. A calm, quiet life where nothing more terrible than the accidental burning of toast ever happened. Sadly, that was just not in the cards. Morganix was an only child when her dreams took on a decidedly odd turn. They were fuzzy at first. She would wake knowing something unusual had occurred, and her dreams had felt not normal. She eventually was able to remember a male voice speaking to her, and eventually that voice named itself Galadar. During a night of uneasy sleep, Galadar came to her with a dire warning. An evil person with a great weapon of power had died in a secret tomb in a nearby forest. He urged Morganix to retrieve the weapon so that it could be turned over to the right people. Upon discovery of the hilt, she stared at it with utter bewilderment. Morganix raised her eyes to see a rough-looking mercenary, an arrow notched, ready to pierce her heart. At that moment, the hilt began to speak to her. In a state of panic, Morganix couldn't later recall what exactly it had said. She only knew that it had promised to get her out of that place alive well, something. In an instant, Morganix was safely back in
Unmute. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the Explorers of Efera. Welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and I will be your dungeon master this evening. And I'm super excited to do so. We got a lot of people in here. A very active chat. Jazz, I feel like there's only one way to settle this, and the two of you need to literally have a fist fight to see who would win. And that's how you're determined to be the the number one fan of Roll with Advantage in the Explorers of Efera. So yeah, we'll be in contact. I'll send you guys some emails, and you'll have to pay for your own flights and lodging. But when we get that figured out, we'll figure out who it is. Okay, so aside from that, a few things. Obviously, as always, we need to thank our our artists, which oh, that's right, you just got your vaccine. Lisa, Gemma, Andy, and PT Dat for doing the art they do. Actually, Varnast just got his art updated. You'll see it on the rotating slide. But not his speaking art for right now. Believe it or not, there's a lot of cogs and parts to this live streaming thing. So that was just one thing that slid my mind. So excuse normal Varnast, and anytime you need to think of Varnast, just think of the badass art that shows up on the side.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty fucking sick nasty, and I'm quite the fan of it. In all honesty,
it was worth all the gold that Cyrus lent me.
Yes, so there is that, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I am wearing a Leaping King hoodie, and if you'd like to get one yourself, please feel free to go to the Teespring store. There's a lot of stuff on there, a lot of stuff that I really like. I actually just ordered a raccoon hoodie that's like the boys from Isles, and it should be here in like a week, and I'm so excited to wear it to places where there's no text on it or anything. It's just three raccoons kind of standing in very like thuggin' like hottest mixtape album pose, and it's great. I love it a lot. But I don't need to stall anymore. What I need to do instead is roll the intro so we can play some Dungeons and Durgans.
It's true.
Intro time! We are back, and the only other thing that I have to say, forgot to mention it earlier, if you'll tell, middle person, Sarah, she actually broke her tooth, like yesterday, and she went to the dentist to get it pulled out and fixed, and so she's in a lot of pain. She's trying to sleep it off, so she's not going to be here today. So anytime that Sayla does come up, if it's so necessary, I'll be role-playing as Sayla, which pretty much just means I'll be staring daggers at people and kind of grunting in disagreement when things happen. Generally, of course. But, oof, poor thing, yeah, it is really sad. But I think with that, we should go ahead and get started, right? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
As I take a sip of water. Delicious. So, last we had left off, the party had found themselves victorious in the city of New Verdalka. After many weeks of questioning and stress, the party can finally see a light at the end of the tunnel. The civil war they fell into all that time ago has finally come to a head, and there's only one thing left to do. Free New Efera, the self-proclaimed capital of the New World, from the shackles that are currently keeping it tied down. However, before they can begin to move north and launch that final assault, they have several days of free time while the governor of New Verdalka, the captain of the guard, and the new leader of the Golden Shields, fully mobilize the army to march to New Efera. A few things have happened already, where Varnast and Cyrus and Morganix, now all three of you having gone to the different shops in town for different items, sort of vamping up your clothing. There is a duo who does most of the smithing and tailoring for more high-class and high-profile people. And you all are definitely that. High-profile, high-class. So you have that taken care of by them, and by the time you leave to New Efera, it will be done. One of the bigger things that did come out of this was you were able to get a building for yourselves. Duncan's old academy now belongs to the five of you. And you have left instructions when you leave for how you would like the area to be renovated. And during this time, Alec has already started her own renovations, as she knows that if anybody's going to do it correctly, it'll be her. So over the past few days, Alec has already started rolling in boulders into the Efera Academy to renovate her room so it is up to the snuff of the natives of Efera. So, as that is starting to happen, all of you had time to spend with one another, and although you were very close already from the hardships you had shared, you grow even closer now that you're not just fighting against death together, you're also living life together. So, with that, last we had left off, right where we left, Cyrus had, as you remember, Cyrus, you had been preparing yourself to head to sleep. Morganix had helped you put everybody up to bed as everybody else kind of got a little bit more inebriated and a little bit more tipsy. Morganix headed to bed, and you lingered. You decided to extinguish the lanterns and sconces that were hanging in the academy. And as you did, you noticed the creeping shadows growing ever closer to you. It was strange, to say the least, but you sort of log it away as just another strange thing that happens around you. In all honesty, a lot of strange things happen, so it's probably nothing. You head to bed, and all of you wake up the next morning. Now, Cyrus and Morganix, you know that your clothing isn't going to be done until later in the afternoon, and Varnas, that same thing is for you. Later this evening is when your armor is going to be done. So with that, it is a brand new day, and I'd like to ask all of you, I'd like to open it up to you, is there anything in particular any of you would like to do during this time? This is probably your, let's see, I think you have 2 more days left of downtime before you're ready to march on New Efera. So, as all of you are waking up in the morning, you begin your morning rituals, and the day is yours. So I pass it off to you, Explorers of Efera. What are we doing?
I have a few things I want to do.
Okay. What's up?
But what does anybody else? I don't want to hog all the time or anything.
Well, yeah, but someone has to go first, so go ahead.
Well, the first thing I want to do is take the potion and go back to Mikhail.
Yes. Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good to me. So you are able to eat your breakfast, scarf it down, and zoop over to the docks. Make your way to Mikhail. And find your way to his large, almost circus tent, like big top circus tent shop. The flowing fabrics and cloths hanging from the ceiling, along with the decadent display cases for magic items. As you enter, the drow merchant, dark onyx skin and clothing of thin and flowy materials to fit the more tropical region he's in, Mikael Pazzo. He sees you walk in. He sort of is in the middle of a stretch and a yawn, just early morning. Oh, well, hello there, Morganix. It is good to see you. Tell me, my dear, do you happen to have the thing that was promised?
I will set the potion on the counter. I have some questions about that ring.
Yes. Very well. So, you want some questions? Well, ask any question you like, and I can promise you, my dear, it will be answered.
Is there anything already in it? Or is it empty?
Well, currently there is nothing in it, but suppose you wanted something to be in it, that could be arranged.
Well, you wouldn't sell an empty wine bottle.
I suppose not. Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Aua.
Persuasion. Okay.
Joe, you were a little quiet there. Okay.
I am going to use my automatic win from Battle Royale and pass this check.
Oh, that's really good. Okay. All right. Sounds good. I can do that. So you feel the smile come across your face, and you try and sell it, but for a moment you're just sort of, you can see his eyebrows begin to sort of just kind of drip down and furrow a little bit at you trying your best to make a deal. But then instinctually you just wink, and he kind of, well, when you put it like that, all right. I will make you a deal. I will put in whatever spell you like. Free of charge.
Just one?
Well, I suppose there could be more than one, but just depends how powerful you want that spell to be. I will fill it to the brim with whatever you wish.
Perhaps just some first level spells surprise me? I wouldn't mind a use of Speak with Adam. But I'll say dealer's choice.
Very good. Very good. Okay. That I can do. How about you come back in, let's just say, an hour? You can keep the potion until then. I don't want you to think that I try and grift you. So, take the potion, come back in an hour, and I can promise you that the ring of spell storing will be there for you, with spells filled to the brim. One of so being, speak with animals.
We have a deal. I look forward to it.
Oh, believe me, I look forward to it as well.
Insight check. He's not going to do anything nefarious with this potion, is he?
Make an insight check, sure. Do it.
Nah, he's on the level.
Yeah, no, I mean, he seems... It's a little weird how excited he seems about it, but... no, I mean, nothing... You don't get evil Lich Lord, you know?
Cool.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Solid guy, yeah.
Yeah. Very solid, yeah. Okay, alrighty. So, come back in a couple hours, and your ring will be ready.
Cool. I'll let someone else go.
Alrighty, so Morganix was off and away shopping. Who is next? Let's go, people. What is it? Huh?
Varnas would go looking for Alec after waking up.
Okay.
See if she's around or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alec would have been awake at like the crack of dawn, and she's like still lugging in like giant logs from outside to go into her room. So she would probably be in her room just like setting up trees.
You would have seen sober, miserable Cyrus saying how the mornings are disgusting and he's not used to this.
And Alec's just like smiling as she's dragging this loud log through the hallway.
I'm so glad Morganix is not there for that.
Just scraping up the floor.
Yes, absolutely.
So glad.
Yeah, Varnas just like watches this happen, kind of like waits a second. Alec, mind taking a pause?
Yes. 1 second. And she like lifts up this tree and like puts it down, but doesn't realize how heavy it is. So like, as she sets down the tree, there's like a crack in the floor now. Well, it adds to the decoration. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I know that, like me, you're probably a little antsy to keep going with what we need to do. I think a little bit of a rest is good for us, but we need to maintain our form. Perhaps you'd be interested in participating with some training with me.
Oh, I would love to do that. It's been a while since I've had someone to train with, but I feel as though the way that I approach combat may be different. I don't want to hurt you.
I think I'll be fine, but thank you.
Okay, I will grab my sword, and she'll like turn and go back into the back corner of her room. Like she has like a little pile of stuff underneath her makeshift teepee, and she'll grab her sword. Okay.
He'll just head to the front yard or whatever, and he'll have his stuff out and ready for when she arrives.
Now she's walking out, she'll just say, like I said, I'm going to apologize now if I hurt you. The way that I do things may not be quite the same.
What exactly are you worried about? You've seen me take hits before?
Right, but you're my friend, and I'd rather not hurt you if possible.
But
But
I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
she just nods.
All right. Well, how about we just start just kind of with a bit of a spar, going at each other, and just see how we feel after a little bit.
Right. And she will spit in her hand and offer it to you.
Varnas will spit in his own hand and shake her hand back.
Okay, all right. Combat music started.
Oh.
Kayla and I talked about this a little bit, and I think we're just gonna kind of theater of the mind a lot of this stuff. Obviously, like, we're not gonna roll just for, like, you know, there's no need to actually do combat in numbers here.
Oh no, that'd be terrible.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds like, you know, you'd lose.
Nah, it's okay, it's okay.
Funny. I got...
Music cue though, Joe.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you. All right, so you spar.
I'm thinking after like 10, 15 or so minutes, Varnas would kind of pull back and he'd be like, let's break for a moment.
Alec is like almost mid-swing, but she's able to stop, and she says, break, okay. And she'll like slowly lower her weapon, very unsure of what breaking is.
Who taught you how to use a blade?
My father did.
Did you have any other mentors, or was it only him?
It was just, it was just him. It's tradition that is passed down between the heads of the tribe, and chief teaches the next. It's just tradition.
I see. Is it inappropriate of me to offer advice to you? I don't mean to insult you if that is the way.
Is there something wrong with the way that I do things?
I mean, you've carried yourself this far, so I'd hardly call it wrong, but I believe that the more you know and the more information you possess, the better equipped you are for whatever might come next.
Okay, yes, I accept your advice.
Your strength, Alex, is extraordinary. In terms of raw power, I don't think I've ever met anyone quite like you. I, however, feel like you might rely on it a little too much. He sheaths his sword and he kind of pulls out his shield for a moment and pulls it in both hands. Do you know how to properly use one of these?
No. I only know how to use my sword. You see, I was always told if you can create fear and intimidation and overpower your enemies, then there's no need for a shield. I assume that you know that you do very well with it, but if I can overpower my enemy, I don't have need for one.
Well,
And I feel as though if I am hit, well, I spill my blood for my people, and that only empowers me more. I don't feel as though I get weakened from it. I instead am fueled by the pain, because that pain is the pain my people suffer.
I suppose I can understand that. But perhaps some counsel in this case. To wield a weapon like as yours takes an immeasurable amount of skill. I've dabbled with such a weapon, but it is not my specialty nor my forte. But I believe that you rely perhaps a little too much on the raw strength that you possess. For example, when you block with your blade, you put the blade entirely between yourself and the opponent. You allow the blade to strike squarely onto yours, and it causes you to take the entirety of the hit. The shield's purpose is to help deflect attacks. You don't want to take something head on, because that's how arms get broken. Watch, swing your blade at me, and he'll kind of hold his shield at the ready.
She will, with both hands, bring her sword down on the shield.
And you see that he kind of like moves the shield to where like the blade hits, but it kind of does that thing where like it kind of like more slides away from his body rather than like, you know, Captain America just like take the full brunt of the hit.
Mm-hmm.
By allowing the tool to do more of the work, it keeps me safer, keeps our bodies from taking more damage than is necessary. I've seen men win battles and then die to their wounds later. That is not a fate I wish of you.
Kind of like cocks her head to the side. But if I carry this, will it not make my sword arm weak?
Nah. That's the thing. With your kind of weapon, you actually don't need one of these, he says as he kind of motions to his shield. May I hold your blade for a moment?
She kind of like hesitates. Yes. Yes, you may. And she'll very carefully hand it over. She's very reluctant, but she does it anyway.
You see he takes it, and his hands like kind of lower, but he kind of like takes a second, focuses, and kind of gets used to the feel of the blade. Alright, and then he'll pull out his blade and hold it out to her. Alright, strike me with this now.
You can see she's like making a face at your sword because she is unimpressed. And she kind of like limp arms it with one hand and instinctually tries to do like put both hands on it and like
It's a two-hander.
yeah, but Alec has massive fucking hands.
True.
And so she raises it up and she very similar how she did before, she'll just bring it down across.
And instead of blocking like you've been, you see that Varnast like angles the blade, and he actually has part of it kind of like rest against the earth, so that when your blade hits, it just like reflects down the steel and away from him. And it seems like it takes very little energy for him to do it that way. And he'll pull the blade back up and offer it back to you. Do you see?
Yes, I think. Here, let me try. And she'll take her sword back. Okay, you attack me.
And he will do so.
And she will do her best to emulate. I feel like it wasn't perfect, but she gets the job done.
Okay. She at least has the idea down of what she's trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little rough, but it's nowhere near graceful as he was.
Good. Good. It will take time, but... And Varnus kind of like taps his head. It's just a change of mindset in terms of how you fight, but I believe that you'll find yourself more successful that way.
Right. It's just, I've never really thought about the idea of defending myself as much as the actual attack. You know, it's just... I've never thought of it that way before. But thank you. I think if I continue this, I might be able to use this, especially with where we're going. But I would like to add something if I can. Will you attack me again?
He nods and raises himself and strikes again.
Okay. This time, she does it much better, but as the blades kind of slide down across, like down towards the ground, she will immediately raise her foot and kick Varness in the chest.
Okay.
So
Yeah, he'll take it.
okay. It is a very forceful kick. Like her aim is to make you land on your back on the ground.
All right. Sure. I'll do that.
Great.
We'll just say it happens.
All right. So I feel as though if I am defending, I can also deflect and push my enemies away. And then if you're already down, and she'll like walk and stand over you and like point her sword to your chest, I can just easily dispatch you like this. Right?
That's an excellent theory. And Varnus will kind of like just take his hand and like motion the blade away as he stands back up.
And she will like put her foot on your chest so you can't get up. I think that what you've taught me today is very important, but I also think there is a way that we can make it even better. If I am deflecting, it makes sense to not let that moment pause, right? So, and she'll move her foot and help you up. If I am deflecting another weapon, my goal is to deflect and then surprise. So if you attack me, I block, somehow I'm going to break your guard and go in for the kill. That way, I don't have to worry about an attack from you, and I'm also defending myself. And she kind of looks like she's, you know, that meme, that X-Files meme with the numbers. She's doing, and she's trying to put this all together.
Well, in theory, that's about as ideal as a fight can go, short of you just attacking someone once and them going down. But I think in terms of something to aim for, it's not a bad idea, no.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
I was wondering if I could ask something of a more personal nature while we were doing this, and I'd imagine they would just kind of go back to like their sparring like they were before, just kind of while they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of lightly doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
When was the last time you spoke to Astitia?
I feel like so they've been like sparring for a while, and at that she will immediately just kind of drop her weapon.
And he would stop.
Cyrus there during this?
Cyrus is outside just loudly eating a sandwich
I
watching you
fucking
fight.
love that. I fucking love. Okay.
And at that question, he was like, nope, nope, nope.
Okay, it's happening. Okay, even better. Why do you ask that?
Well, you said that you believed in her. I was just curious when the last time you actually spoke to her was.
I do believe, because those are my gods, and everything around you is them. But I will be honest, it's been some time since we've spoken last. I give my offerings, I give my prayers, but directly it's been some time. Sometimes I feel as though you can't always trust the gods to do and to help and to see. And instead, you have to be the one to take action. And I feel as though as of late, she like looks around as though she is actually going to hear her say this. So she's like looking around very uncomfortable. Sometimes I feel as though they care, but they don't care. Why would you let these things happen to your people? Why would you let these things happen to your land and instead of waiting for them to do something, I feel as though it is my duty to do something. So, no, we haven't spoken because I fear for what I might say.
I don't blame you for feeling that way. For a very long time, I felt similar. Not that I went through anything like your people went through, but I went through my own kind of pain. And it was a lot easier to blame those that weren't around, that could defend themselves. But she did send me to you. It certainly is something.
I understand that they work in very mysterious ways and ways that we're not meant to understand. But again, I find myself questioning a lot of things. Why are my people turning into these horrible creatures? Why is the land running black with poisoned waters and crops that don't grow? Why are we being forced away from our homes? Varnast, I admire you greatly, and I'm very thankful that you have been sent to us. And I would not change that. But how much of that was Sticia? And how much of that was Grandma Tala? Or you? I believe that everything happens for a reason, and perhaps fate itself simply brought you here. I haven't given up on the gods, but I often feel that they have given up on me.
Well, perhaps one last bit of advice for today's training session, if I may.
Go ahead.
He kind of like walks over to you and he kind of like takes your hands in your sword and he kind of puts you back into like your original defensive position. And he just kind of like puts his sword to where like it's landing directly against you like once again.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like you're still trying to take the entirety of the weight and the blow yourself. I think it would be good for you to take some time and try to reach out and speak to them. I don't know what she'll say to you, but bare minimum, at least you can say you tried.
Yeah, I will think on this.
You up for doing this again tomorrow morning?
Yes, very much so. As long as we could focus on maybe just this.
Fair enough.
And she just kind of nods. And she's gonna go back to her room. She's gonna steal a sandwich from Cyrus first, but then go back to her room. Like,
I think it would be one of
walk
them.
by and
I was gonna
swipe.
say, if you just swiped it, I think Sarah's be like, "What? No, oh, fucking god, fine."
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Alrighty. So then, Cyrus, were you up to anything, or?
Yes, but because it's probably gonna be a bigger thing, he'd wait till everyone's around.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
So other than that, he's kind of doing that annoying thing where he's like, he's kind of bored and wants what to do, so he's just kind of pestering people and just being like, "Hello."
I also have one more thing, but it's also kind of a bigger thing that I would wait for everyone else for, so...
Okay.
I don't know if Alec or Morgonix had anything smaller.
Alec, did you have anything? Because if not, we can hop back to Morgonix in the ring.
No, she's just waiting to hear when Kagan or Co come to town.
Okay. Sick
so
nasty.
She's gonna go finish building her treehouse.
Yes. Okay, so you continue back to that after your training. And yeah, so we'll hop back to Morgonix at this point. So, Morgonix, you had maybe been like walking around the city, or was there anything in particular you wanted to do in that sort of hour of in between of him curating the spells in the ring?
I'll just wander a little. I might stop by a market and get like foodstuffs.
Oh, yeah. Cool. We'll say that whatever you want to get for whatever meal you're thinking about preparing, the person in charge of the market stall, this sort of like balding dwarvish woman with like wispy chin hairs. She's like, oh, you're the one. What was your Morganix, right? You're the one who. Oh, well, dearie, whatever you like, feel free to take free, all right? You've done so much for the city, and I'm happy it's under new management, and that's thanks to you, so please, take whatever you wish.
I will thank her very kindly and take a few things, but also subtly leave 5 gold for her to find later.
Okay, yeah, you like tuck it underneath the papaya, you know?
Yeah, just
Okay.
take some fruits and veggies and maybe a fish or 2.
Okay, sounds good. And you take that, and she says, "Oh, those are all great choices. Oh, well, have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, sweetheart."
And you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So, with
And
that-
hiding the 5 gold somewhere she's more likely to find than another customer.
Yeah, of course. And you can hear that as soon as you get like almost out of earshot, you hear her go, "Oh, oh!" As you can just kind of subtly hear those gold coins clinking.
Good.
Made somebody's day. So with that, hour passes. Make your way back around to the big top, and as you enter, Mikael comes around the corner and says, "Well, my dear, I'm glad you have come back just in time because your ring is done." And he sort of like, there was nothing in his hands at one point in time, but then he sort of just does like a flourish with his fingers and the ring appears on his hand. And he says, "So, if you would give me the potion, I will give you the ring, and our deal is complete."
I will, with a smile, give him the potion.
Good. So, with that, I will go ahead and drop the ring of spell storing into your inventory. It should pop up
Oh,
there.
thank you.
Again. And he, as he drops
Does it require attunement?
That's a great question. Wearing this magic item. Yes, it does require
I
attunement.
assume, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm attuned to much, if anything, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, no. And he says, by the way, they're written in this description of the item if you just double click on the item in your inventory, but he says, there are 3 spells on there for you. There is 1, speak with animals as per your request. There is haste, a spell to speed up your allies or yourself, making them harder to do it and giving them more to do. However, there is the adverse side effect of exhaustion. And then finally, sometimes you are trapped in a corner and you need a way to clear your path. And with that, I have found that in my journeys, Agananzar Scorcher tends to do the trick. So, with that, level 2,
Oh my goodness.
level 3, and, yeah. Speak with animals, haste, and Agananzar Scorcher. So what you got?
Wonderful surprise. And I will offer to shake his hand.
Oh, I am honored, savior of the city. And he shakes your hand.
Oh. I'll see you again soon, I hope.
Not soon enough, my dear.
Now I have another little thing I want to do before I go home.
Okay. Yeah, what's that?
I want to go to the dock. And I'm going to keep a lookout for the biggest, nastiest, gruffiest cat I can find.
Okay. Yeah, make a, we'll say...
You're cutting out, Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, that's... I was cutting out on purpose because I was that's how I was speaking.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'll say go ahead and make a we'll say survival check with advantage.
Oh god.
Surviving on the city streets here. It's 3 and then
Oh jeez.
if you go, yeah, there you go. Nice.
Okay.
All right. So,
Rolling like myself.
So as you're sort of scanning around the docks, looking for any ship cats that might have, made their way off, ones that are really who've been on the seas for the past, 10 years, you do see one. You see this big, fat, like black cat, You know, it's a little scruffy. It's got like part of its ear missing. Looks like the other one, the pirate, like pierced its ear. It looks like a badass. Like it doesn't look like it cared. Like it wanted to get its ear pierced, and you can just see it like making its way around, just stalking.
I am going to take out the fish I bought and cast Speak with Animals. You want a job?
What's it look like to you? You think I want a job? Of course I want a job.
I have a school in dire need of a mouser.
That fish for me?
That fish is for you.
How many fish does it pay?
Well, I won't be there all the time, but it's anything you catch on the property other than the dogalin or the fox weasel you can eat. Mm-hmm. And my friends and I will spoil you whenever we have the opportunity. And I have another fish for the first catch.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. With advantage. got some good persuading skills with.
How do I toggle advantage on? It's been forever.
It should, if it doesn't prompt you.
It doesn't.
Okay, what you can do is roll it like normal, and then in the chat box, you can have it roll with advantage or disadvantage in there. So like roll it normally, and then go to the. Wow, doesn't matter.
Wow.
So just so you know, if you hover over the roll, there's like a minus and a plus button. If you click on the plus, it'll roll with advantage.
Unnecessary, but for funsies.
Wow. Okay.
You'll always have a home. You will always be safe and warm. And butt scratches.
You know what? You got a deal, lady. Let's go.
This is the best thing I've ever done. I will give him the fish and lead the way home.
It's a pretty big fish, but he just kind of like bites into it and just carries it in his mouth.
I'm so proud to be a part of this.
Why are all my animals monsters? This is a cat with
You
an
have
ear
a name.
piercing. What do you expect him to sound like? So
Before the spell wears off, I'll ask if he has a name.
Charlie.
Of course it is.
Very well, Charlie. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, Toots.
Oh, I love him. I will lead him home.
So he just walks with you. And then eventually you get back, and, I'd probably say, I guess, Cyrus, you might be the only person outside right now, as you're just trying to eat your sandwich and solace the new one that you had to make after Alex stole your old one. And you see, you see Morgana's approach, and she's got a nice little like woven basket, and you can see some mangoes and papayas, apples and bananas, some fresh fish, and she's just very happy. And then you sort of look down at this like furry black mess that comes up to like her calf that has like this full fish in its mouth, one ear pierced, and like it's got like battle scars over its face as it's just walking so slowly next to her. And you can see the cat kind of stop and look up at you, Morganix, and like look back to Cyrus.
Cyrus would be like, should go shop. Cat.
He works here now. We got a mouser.
And he kind of hides his mouth as if the cat can understand him, and he kind of puts a hand on Cyrus. Is he clean?
Prestidigitation, Charlie.
As he drops the fish, picks the fish back up,
and then butt scratches. He's clean now. His name is Charlie.
If Charlie can handle the bugs, then well, you're welcome. I suppose. Cat.
Bugs?
Charlie. Cat. Oh. Yes, hells. Alex making her room forest. She's making a forest, and there's bugs, and it's horrible. It's nice. It's very Alec, but there's a lot of bugs. And she stole my sandwich.
Alec, at about this point, Doggolin's been helping you, and you see Doggolin go,
Oh no.
You sense something. He like grabs your sword.
and he just like crouches down and begins to like prowl.
Alec will mimic the same.
Like makes his way around. You can see him exiting towards like the center foyer area, and then slowly makes his way towards the door and like stands up on his hind legs to open the door. You've never
She's,
seen
like,
him open
right
a door
behind
before.
him.
He's learning how to open doors. It's a little weird, but
Oh
it's fine.
god.
He opens the
She's
door,
right behind him.
and as the door opens, you can see Doglin just sort of freeze. And you can see this, Alec, you see it. You see, even before you see Morganix, you see this big fat black cat that just has like an ear piercing and battle scars. And you can see it sort of look up to Doglin. And they just stare at each other for a good, like, there is tension.
Alec is gonna slowly put her hand, like, reaching towards the back of Dogolin's neck to grab him by the scruff before he can move.
Morganix is gonna look down and say, "This is the one I was telling you about. That's Dogolin. He's a friend." Like, this is totally normal that she's just talking to a freaking cat.
You can see Charlie sort of arches back a little bit, doesn't hiss at all, and then he just goes to sit on his hind legs and just stares down Doglin like he's some fat mobster sitting behind a desk with spaghetti in front of him. Just
Ronix, what do you have there?
This is Charlie. He's gonna be our mouser.
He looks very angry.
They're called
I
mangoes.
think he might be, but he's had a hard life, and he deserves a better one.
Right.
And also, if I find one more book with rat nibble pages, I'm going to kill somebody.
Alec is gonna, like, kneel down to Dogolin and, like, look at me like I'm the captain now kind of thing. This is friend, not food. We do not eat friends. Is that understood?
It will give you indigestion.
Doglin kind of looks back at the cat, squints his eyes. You can see him look back up at you and kind of.
I will find you something much tastier to eat. But you must promise we do not eat friends.
You see him kind of go back and growl towards Charlie and just look back to you and just kind of turn around and go back into the house.
Morganix,
I'll look in my bag. Is there anything I bought that Dogolin would like, or is it fruit and veggies?
I mean, no, there's probably, you know that Alec much prefers like hearty meat as opposed to fish, so you probably bought like a steak or something for Alec.
If I see Morganix rustling around looking for stuff like that, I'm gonna say, "No one's taking one of my sandwiches again."
No, I'm not giving Dogolin a whole steak.
He's the goodest boy. What do you mean?
Okay, I will give him Alex steak. Since Charlie has a fishy.
Okay, so you take it out, and as soon as you take it out and the aroma's in the air, Dogolin immediately was going into the house, immediately like 180 turns and just like a attack dog, just like focused on the scent, just staring at you, just like, please give it to me now.
I will toss it into the air.
And he sort of calculates for a moment, slows down time, sees it, and does this like immediately like jump up in the air and just and you see he's a strong dog. He's not very dexterous. It was just completely miscalculated. He jumps up in the air, and the
baby.
stake just flies and like smacks up against the wall and falls onto the grass. Dogolin doesn't care. He lands back down and runs over towards it and just begins to tear into the stake.
He will not eat your cat. We've spoken.
I trust him. And I have told Charlie to leave Doglin and the Fox Weasel alone, but everything else is fair game.
Organics.
Yes.
We are friends, yes?
We are.
Would you be upset if there was dirt inside?
There's a lot of dirt inside. I haven't even cleaned half of it.
Right. And say this.
Cyrus
dirt was
starts laughing as she says that.
And say this dirt was contained to one room.
Bugs.
Friendly bugs
Bugs.
as well that help keep the garden clean.
Bugs.
Like, Alec will step in front of Cyrus.
You hear a more muffled behind Alec. Bugs.
I'm just gonna open my mouth and close it several times and look down to Charlie. Do you eat bugs?
Him kind of like nod his head a little bit.
I'll nod back. Okay, as long as you're happy.
Thank you. I am. And she, like, gives a look to Vardas and Cyrus.
Vardas
Yeah,
gives
bitch.
double thumbs up and then goes back to work, pulling in like another log or whatever you asked him to help do.
Charlie falls over onto the ground and just kind of basks in the sunlight for a little bit. Kind of like rolls around.
Destroy that fishy.
Yeah, and just as he lays in the sun for a little bit, you see just one paw just reach towards the fish and slowly slide it towards him. And he's not even tearing into it. He's just kind of like passively like eating it as he's laying in the grass. Just.
Yeah, he'll be happy here.
Yeah, lounging and eating fish like a hedonism bot from Futurama.
You come to me on this, the day of my daughter's wedding.
It's exactly what it is.
I feel good about this.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop now. I
Don't
watched
ask.
it very recently.
Don't ask Charlie about his past. It's a little dark.
All right. Cyrus,
Okay.
was there something you wanted to do now?
Yes. As everyone's here, he'd at least suggest it. I'd like to propose a bit of an outing, if people are ready. I'm not stealing sandwiches.
I'm sorry? I couldn't hear the last part of what you said.
Hmm? No, don't be silly, Alec. I didn't say anything.
You see, Varnas gives you a look, and he knows exactly what you said.
Where would you like to go?
Well, the reason I suggest we all go is I think it's about time we pay a visit to our dear friend the Silver Rose to cash in on a bit of a deal. And he kind of looks at Morganix.
I've been wanting to go see him as well. I have so many questions.
Well, I'd just like to clarify. I don't know how this will sound, but Jalissa still has the feather, and I don't think it's wise I have it on me. I mean, he seems alright, but if I say, oh, I've got it, and then, he kills me and eats me and takes my... No, yes? I don't know, I don't want to die.
Well, he'll never reascend if he does that.
Yeah, but he might still want his feather and be like, oh, I can still beat you up. And
Are
that's
you
not
going
cool.
to tell him you have it?
Could just
I'm going. I'm I'm going to tell him. I just don't want to have it with me in case he's like mine. You know, like a sandwich.
I support that. I'll go with you.
You seem to keep mumbling some words, and I'm missing them.
It's infernal, dear.
Oh.
It means great success.
Yes, well, we do want great success in this.
Yeah.
That maybe, Moradix, if you just carefully explain the situation as to why we have.
Oh no, I think that will require some explaining on my part.
I don't know how you
Oh.
got it.
I do remember that.
Yep. Yes, as you know, I want it
I know
fairly.
where the trail went missing.
Varnask
Oh.
raises a hand.
Yeah. Yes, dear.
Didn't he think Agatha had it? Couldn't we just say we found it in her office or something?
No, Pete knows where it was.
Yeah, he does. He knows where the trail went cold.
It went cold with, and Cyrus does a bow. Yours truly.
We haven't lied to him. I told him that I would try to help him get it back. And the fact that I had suspicions of where it was, I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker that I didn't tell him I had suspicions. It seems reasonable enough to my mind that I wanted to be
Well-
sure before I got his hopes up.
I mean, let's be honest. I didn't really. Only Alec knew what I had, and I've been rather secret about what I had. It's worth a hell of a lot of money, you know.
I'm sure it is.
And what it does is even more valuable. I mean, but as I've said to you before, it is his. So I'm hoping he'll at least help us when we need it.
Well,
Now, I mean, I do have to ask. It's not being too terribly cheeky, is it, if I say he can have it after he helps us, or is that a bit of a shitty thing to do?
didn't he already help us, though, by arranging the meeting with the governor? Wasn't that the
Yeah, I
agreement
mean-
that we made?
Well,
We made
No.
a separate agreement.
no, that's not it. This is a rather big thing for him. The governor was that was separate with. Like, this is something he's been looking for and has no idea about. So, yes,
If we give it to him, he would be, one would think, very grateful and willing to work with us even more. We are the ones who retrieved something he has been looking for quite some time, and we've managed to protect it and return it. Does that not warrant a reward of some kind, and
I
perhaps
mean-
that reward is his loyalty?
when you phrase it like that, it sounds better rather than being like, "Hello, I'm keeping your part of you ransom."
I was about to say no one likes having a knife held to their throat. Doing something like this only invites
no,
issues
but
down the road.
yes, but people aren't black and white; they're grey.
I've not met many people of those colors.
Well, I'm purple, so.
This is true. I
I-
feel so honestly
Ah,
like
fuck it. I'll get it. I'll be back shortly. Perhaps.
I'll go with you.
Okay. Where's Jalissa staying now?
Oh. You
Wasn't
know, I
she
don't
working?
know.
She was working with the governor, wasn't she? Wasn't that where Salem went to go see her last time?
Yeah,
That's the
she's
governor's place.
Yeah, she's staying in the guest room of the governor's mansion.
Her house burned down. I'm sure she was eager to move out of the sewers.
As most
Well-
people are, yeah.
Shockingly.
Unless you're a turtle.
Unless you're a turtle. Yeah!
God.
Dibsy new character. Turtle monk who lives in the sewer.
Yes!
So, yeah, Cyrus will be like, well, suppose I'd better go and play the courier. Feel free to tag along if you want. And then we pay a visit to well, from what I heard, a rather nice garden.
Shouldn't we all just go if we're gonna go see the Silver Rose right after you collect it?
Yes, I mean, feel free to, get some snacks for the road, like a sandwich.
Cyrus, are you hungry? We can prepare some food before we leave.
Oh, wait, Alec, my dear, define prepare.
Oh, well, last night was a very traditional meal, and I'm sure we can
Yes.
find a few rabbits around. That would be much simpler.
In fact, I'm not very hungry at all. Never
Are
mind.
you sure? It won't take me
No,
long.
it's-
If you just
no.
snap the neck just
No,
right,
I-
easily detach the
I've-
head and take out
It's,
the
you know,
inner workings.
it's the funniest thing. I've just lost my appetite. I must have been fuller than I realized. Let's leave
all right.
now.
All right.
I do actually need to buy one thing. Could I just meet you all at the garden? It shouldn't take too long.
As long as it doesn't involve me, yes.
I
All right.
will also say, you can all see Sayla was just kind of like lurking, listening near the water fountain, right there.
I was gonna ask if she was comfortable going to see the angel, or if she'd like to sit this one out.
Yeah. She'll kind of stand up and say, and you can see there's some trepidation in her voice and form, which is very, very different. She says, I'll come with you to Jalissa's, and I don't think I'll say much when we're there, but I want to come to dinner because I just want to see what he's like. If for some reason he decides to become what he once was. Because then I'll know for sure if I can trust him or not.
And it's a no to the throat slitting, yes?
For now. I mean,
Great.
sorry, yeah, if that's what all of you want.
I need
Yes.
him. He is the only lead I have
I
with
mean,
Malcantha. I need him.
I think he's going to be a pretty vital part of quite a lot of things, so I prefer it if he was alive, with his throat intact, frankly.
If he does try to kill Cyrus, though, I will smash him.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, but I don't
Yes.
think he will.
I'm just making sure we're all on the same page, that's all.
No, I will too kill him.
Oh, I'm loving this energy!
You're our
Yes!
friend, and we won't let that happen. But I feel as though he has been honest and extremely welcoming to us despite all of the circumstances, so...
I think it'll be fine. And let's head out. Varnas, we'll meet you at the garden. Yes.
Yes, I'll meet you there. Like I said, my thing shouldn't take long, so I'll probably be there before you guys, but I'll wait for you.
As we start walking away, Cyrus will say in a passing comment, "Oh, in case it comes up, I did kill someone to get the feather," and then just keeps
I was
walking.
also there. Oh, we're not speaking of this. All right.
Morganix will pinch the bridge of her nose and sigh heavily. And quietly walk to the statue of Ayun and leave an apple at her feet.
Okay.
And say nothing.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
with me. So, all of you make your way out of
Making my way.
You all
Sorry.
make your way out of the academy, except for, well, all of you do. All 5 of you do, except Sayla, Alec, Morganix, and Cyrus. You 4 make your way to the governor's mansion to talk to Jalissa, and Varnast, you head to wherever you're going. So we're going to stick with those 4 first, and then Varnast will hop back to you, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, with that, the 4 of you make your way there. So let me go ahead and preload the scene and then pull all to scene. Back up out in the city. I will say, for what it's worth, the fires have been extinguished in the next to the Western markets in the inner city.
Well, that's good news.
The buildings are starting to be rebuilt. As Alec, even though you're not there, the effort still continues to rebuild the area. So Varnast, I think I know where you're going. So I'm just right. You're going back to the docks, right?
I will also do that. That's actually not what I was thinking, but yes, we'll
okay.
also do that.
Okay, cool.
We'll do that at the same time. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay. All right. And then the 4 of you make your way to the governor's mansion. Okay. So the 4 of you there, as you approach the gate, same thing that has happened before. Guards recognize you, nod, open the gates. You make your way up into the mansion. And as you're making your way into that same place where you were having dinner that one night, or that one morning, breakfast that one morning, with the governor, where Alec, you made your plea and you made your case, you can see that now there are maps of Efera and maps of All's Crossing and Leaping King Inn and New Efera and New Verdalka, and even some maps of places that you don't recognize, the Enclave and the Fiery Hearth, along with some rough drawn parchment maps of different trails that are known to exist in the reaches of the natives in the Slumbering Jungle and Congiato Tropics. And you can see that the governor is there, Lawbear Annika, and so is Ulf Ironwood. You can see 3 of them, and also Jalissa. As I said before, she's wearing her... It is an odd combination of like traditional native garb, sort of layered with this very formal, almost like colonialism style of clothing. But still there are beads and animal teeth that are sort of woven into it, along with the light flowiness of the clothing she had before. And as you all approach, you can see that the 4 of them recognize your entrance, and the governor, the blue dragonborn, Governor Torin, he looks up to the 4 of you entering and says,
Well, this is a welcome surprise. What do we owe the pleasure?
Hello, darling. I'm here to see Jalissa, if she's here.
Yes, of course. I'd be more than happy to speak with all of you. As you see, Governor Torin, you are old news. Everyone wants to talk to the new governor. I will be right back. And she gives a small wave to the 3 of them and then walks towards the 4 of you and says, please, we can head into the living room and we can talk there. And she just sort of walks past the 4 of you and leads you off into a separate room away from the other 3.
And Cyrus would say, like, in a slightly louder whisper, any snacks? Not that we're hungry or anything.
Yes,
Cyrus,
there was...
I thought I asked you to eat before we left.
No. As I said, I'm not hungry. I was just asking. We all guests after all.
Yes, there will be some refreshments if you
Cyrus
need
would
them.
like turn to Jalissa and have like those internally screaming eyes, mouthing, "Please, God, yes."
Yes, there will be things
It may take just a few moments for the servants to bring them to us, but I have a feeling
It's
they will be
very
bringing...
kind of them, considering we're not even hungry. Isn't that right, guys?
Very kind of them indeed.
Morgonix is just gonna look over to Alec. I'm so confused.
I am most times too.
Well, please, follow me. And she heads in and sits down, and eventually, after just a few moments, there are servants who bring in small trays with small little finger snacks, whether they be small, thinly sliced meat wrapped around a small roll of cheese, or small cucumber sandwiches. Definitely very snacky, high-class food.
Ooh.
And so they're set down on the tables, and eventually she sort of sits back in her chair, snacking on a small cucumber sandwich, just one, and chews it and says, "So, what was it that you wanted to speak with me about?"
I'm afraid it's not just a social visit. That item I gave you to store in a lockbox. I need it, please.
Of course, of course. Not a problem. Yeah, you all enjoy the snacks, and I will be right back. She stands up, and she makes her way out of the room, and she's gone for maybe about 5-10 minutes, till eventually she comes
As
back
that's
down.
happening,
Oh, yeah.
if Cyrus reaches for a cucumber sandwich, Alec, without even knowing that she's doing this, is going to take it before Cyrus can grab it. Nonchalantly, absent-mindedly, she doesn't even realize she's doing it. But as soon as he reaches for it, she's just faster. She's not even looking his direction, and she's just oh, and eats it.
Nibbles.
Cyrus would just mutter as this happens, the third time. Of course. Yes.
She takes a nibble, doesn't like it, and puts it back.
Absolutely, she does.
There's no meat on this.
I hope that's not rude. It's just thought there would be more.
Yes.
Cyrus,
Yes.
you might like this.
I would have preferred the ones without the bites in, but as I said, I'm not hungry.
Morgonix will just quietly take the one Alec bit off and eat it.
That's what friends do, man.
Thank you, though, Alec. But yes, I'm rather full from last night's feast.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much.
Yes.
It's even better when we worked on it as friends.
Yes. I can assure you that is a memory I shan't forget.
Good, good.
So with that, Jalissa comes back into the room. She has the small chest that she put it in. She comes back over to you, Cyrus, and she hands you the chest and says, "Everything is in order. It is in there, but I understand if you wish to double check."
I thank you. And Cyrus will take out his bag of holding, take it out and kind of unwrap the feather, so people can see it before he puts it away. He's not going to hide it, so he'll unwrap it before he puts it in the bag of holding. Just kind of inspect it.
Yep.
Or admire it, I should say.
Yeah, it's all there. Very nice. That warmth and life and divinity, which is so adverse to what you are, it is this overwhelming feeling of good that is just almost intoxicating.
It really is such the darndest thing, isn't it? It's rather beautiful.
My patron literally plucked it from him unwillingly after taking his virginity.
Yes, I like the colors too.
Alec is just staring like she has no idea what any of that means.
Another sigh and nose bridge pinch.
I'm
Sorry,
sure
sorry,
happy
dear.
to
Were you
have it
saying
returned.
something? Hmm?
Real quick, Cyrus, I'm gonna take you into the secret voice channel just real quick.
Secret.
So, just so you know, everybody on the stream can still hear us. But Cyrus, as you're sort of staring at it, and Morganix's voice just slowly begins to tune out, you feel this, like I said, that intoxication, that good feeling, and you hear a voice. For a moment, it is fuzzy and unclear, almost as if there's distortion or almost like a missing frequency on a radio. But then eventually it clears, and you hear a voice that you never thought you'd hear again. You hear Emeril's voice. Cyrus.
Oh shit. Okay.
You deserve it. You worked hard for it. You're special, Cyrus. Very special.
And in that brief moment, it was there and then it's gone. And the noise of the room returns to you, Cyrus, as you now begin to hear the speaking of everybody around you again. And you can hear Morganix continuing to speak, talking about how necessary it is and how important it is. And you start to hear her say that as you sort of come back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity.
I was gonna do it too.
Sorry, dear. I was just admiring the thing. Where were we?
Are you all right?
Never better.
Do I believe
Look-
him?
Make an insight check, Cyrus. Cyrus, make a deception check.
I probably
Okay.
believe him.
Just because you have never felt better, but yeah, it's genuine. Never felt better.
Yeah, I believe him.
Yep.
Well, then perhaps we should go and return it to his rightful owner.
Sorry?
Return it?
Yes. Of course.
Before we leave, perhaps you should eat something so you don't feel out of body. I think you're a little hungry. You might not be thinking so well.
Perhaps you're right. Silly me. I was just, what food could compare to last night? And he'll kind of like cut a corner off one of the sandwiches that hasn't been bitten.
There,
or
see, much
he'll
better.
avoid the bite marks anyway.
Yeah.
I ate the bitten one so that Jalissa wouldn't see it.
So,
Well, if there's any like whole ones, Cyrus would fucking devour them.
yeah. There are some whole ones. There's not very many on the plate. There was maybe 4 left, but yeah, you smash them down. And boy, have you missed cucumber sandwiches. Ugh, man. Hamburg. So, with that, feather in your hand, you wrap it up, tuck it in the bag, and Jalissa, sort of lounging on the couch, says, "So, was there anything else that I could have done to help you all, or was that it? Just looking to collect?"
I think that was it. We're always happy to see you. Sorry, quick grab and run. We'll see you soon, though.
Yes. Well, next time you come, expect to stay for dinner, all right?
We would love that.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
If Kagan or Co happen to find their way to town, if you could send them to the academy, I would really appreciate that.
You didn't hear?
Um,
I thought that I told a messenger to deliver word to you.
no, I'm afraid I don't know what you're speaking of.
Kagan and Co are coming, yes. But it is just not the two of them. We received word probably at 5 a.m. this morning. It was a little strange to me that you weren't more excited than what you were, but sometime tomorrow, Kagan and Co will be arriving in Nova Dalka with, and you see her kind of look to you, Alec, and smile. With almost 1,000 natives.
What? From where? They were able to recover that many people from New Efera, or?
Those who escaped Nualfara, those who were scattered to the winds in Kanjiata and Koajiato, those who tried to live their life in Chismaka. Any of them, Kagan and Co found them. And Kagan was planning on marching on Nuvatalka, but then when word reached him that the city was taken by the 5 of you, he sent a letter saying that he would be arriving as soon as he could. And we received word yesterday. He said be here sometime tomorrow evening.
This is good. This is very good. We've already have plans on new homes to be built and an area to be prepared. This is very good.
Yes. Yes, it is, Alec. I'm sorry that the messenger never came.
Oh no, it is fine. And she's like genuinely beaming. I'm just glad I heard the news, and I didn't know we had numbers such as that anymore. It's nice to see things finally turning in our favor for once. This is. I'm afraid I don't have words for how I feel.
No. When I heard that as well, I could not. I did not have words either. But
I would still very much like to speak with them.
of course, I'm sure that the way that it was written, it seemed as though you were the first person that Kagan wanted to speak with.
Oh, good, good. Thank you so much for telling me.
Of course. Of course. Well, it seems as though all of you have somewhere to be, it seems. You said quick grab and run, so I will
Oh,
not hold you
yes.
any longer. But as soon as I see them arriving and we hear them, Alec, I promise you I will send you a messenger who will not get lost in the streets. All right?
I mean, we can stay for a little longer, can't we? I mean, this food, it'd be rude just to grab and leave, right?
Oh, we could probably return the item as soon as possible.
We're supposed to meet Varnast in the garden.
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you, Jalissa. And she'll like put her fist to her chest as she turns to leave.
And Jalissa will do the same. She'll stand, do the same, and bow as all of you leave. There we go. Alrighty. So, with that, all of you make your way out of the governor's mansion and begin to make your way towards the chateau and the Silver Rose. But before we get there, Varnast Halmaru. What's going on? What are you doing?
All right, so Vardas is trying to hurry because like he doesn't want them like waiting on him
Yeah.
because he actually has a few stops to make. So first, he'll head and pick up his commissions.
Okay. Sounds good. Easy enough. Check and
All
done.
right.
You're able to go in there, grab it, and get it fitted. Do you want to just pick it up, or did you want help putting it on as well?
Oh, he'll get it on for sure.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
you're showing up with some sick new threads to the
Hell yeah.
Oh man, hell yeah, indeed.
Okay, so then after that, he will find any place that seems to sell like high quality alcohol.
Okay. Yeah, there are definitely a few like market stalls, especially closer to the governor's mansion, that seem to really specialize in that very, very high quality aged liquors and wines.
Okay, and he'll just try to find one that seems to have like a high selection. Do you have anything from Tarkir by chance?
Well, Tarkarian liquors. Of course, I have Tarkarian liquors. Hey, look at me, you know.
And you see this very, very, very thin man with a. You see that his mustache and goatee is very similar to Cyrus's, but it's not nearly as well kempt and a little bit more greasy.
Sure.
And he says, "We have quite a few different types of liquors from Turkey. It just depends what you're looking for. Something a little bit more sweet and fruity, which I will say is made from berries from Thirol, but it is of Tarkirian construction. Or if you'd like something a little bit more bitter or something more rich, it just depends what you are looking for."
How much for one of each?
One of. All of them?
Sure, why not? Hypothetically.
He's gonna see him kind of look over his store. And he's just vanished. Like,
I suppose that if you wanted to buy one of each of everything that is Tarkarian, I would probably say it is 300 gold pieces.
Varnas kind of like nods. What's the two most expensive ones you have? What's that total out to?
For the two most expensive ones, that is what increases the price so much. There was one for 100 gold, and that is the Golden Harvest. It is a type of whiskey that is actually made with real edible gold flakes.
You know what? Don't even tell me the second one. I'll just take that one. That one's perfect for what I need.
Yes, of course. And he kind of brings out this bottle, and for 100 gold, it's maybe only about maybe 20 ounces. You know, it's not super big for how much you're spending, but you can see that in the broad daylight, as you sort of lift it up, it almost like creates like like god rays underneath the bottle. Just every like little glimmer of gold that it hits. And when you swirl it, it like makes like a little tornado in the center with like golden flakes.
Varnas kind of like, so he just puts down 10 platinum and he picks up the bottle to like kind of look it over.
Platinum. Kind of takes the platinum pieces.
And he just kind of like nods his head. Yeah, Cyrus is going to love this. And he puts it in his bag.
Wait, I'm sorry, who did you... Cyrus?
Varnas kind of like stiffens a little bit and looks over at him. Is there a problem?
No, Cyrus is the one... Are you Varnas?
Yes.
I thought I recognized the brooding face, but I didn't recognize you because of the armor. They say that you wear the heraldry of Esticia. But I guess that is you wearing the golden.
You
Oh,
you see, he takes the collar of his jacket and lifts it up, and you see the symbol for Astitia sewed in down there, and then he lowers it. Sometimes subtlety is required with my work.
yeah, of course. But please, take one more on the house. Special for me. It is not as expensive, but it is one of my favorites. And if you would share it with the rest of your companions, and if they perhaps like it, they could maybe come back and get more and be more affiliated with my shop. Here, it is a elderberry delight, and he gestures it out towards you, and it looks to be like a normal wine bottle, and it is a very, very dark red. It has a very sophisticated flavor mix with some very hearty mahogany notes, along with some very, very pungent berry notes. It is one of my favorites, and please take it on the house.
Only if you insist, but thank you. And he will take it.
Of course. And is it true what they say that Cyrus? I see the clothing that he is worn. At least I have heard of the clothing he wears. They say that he is Tarkarian. Is that true?
That's what he's told me.
Well,
So,
if per se he likes the drinks and he would like to learn more, I would love to share stories of home. It has been a while since I have had a chance to talk to someone from Tarkir. My name is Jacques. Please, if you like the drinks, if he likes them, tell him who sold them, and that I would love to have the chance to meet him.
I'd love to, but in all honesty, I have to admit it's a bit of a surprise. He won't be getting it for a couple of days. We'll probably be gone by then, but I'll still mention it if that is your wish.
Yeah, of course, that is appreciated as well. I'm just happy to be known for the curating that I do. Whenever you get a chance to give it to him, I would be more than happy to have my name mentioned then.
Varnas just kind of like nods his head. I will make sure it is done, Jacques.
Thank you very much, and may Stichia guide you.
To you as well.
Thank you.
All right, and then I got one other thing, but I'll try to make it real quick. Sorry.
Okay. That's all right.
Didn't expect the vendor to have so many questions. So gathering all of his stuff, Varnas will head over down towards I know there's the dock, but is there any kind of more of a beach area, or is it just kind of around here where the ships are towards the bottom?
No, yeah, you could definitely make your way to the beach and make your way down a small set of stairs to the actual sandy dunes.
All right, he would do that, and as he's walking, he would just quickly cast a spell and cast water walking and start walking out into the ocean. And he'd probably go just 100, 200 feet.
Okay.
And he'll just kind of stand there for a moment, just kind of taking in the sea air. And he'll reach into his pack and he'll pull out his old, probably super mangled and covered in blood by now tabard that he's been wearing for this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And he has it wrapped up and he's looking down at the symbol of Astitia that was stitched on the front. And he just kind of stares at it quietly. Thank you for never letting me be alone. Even when I thought I was. And he'll just kind of crouch down onto a knee, and he'll lower the tabard down into the water and then let go, and he will return it to Stichia.
So, as you set it into the water on your knee, The robes are almost, you anticipate them to sink and just slowly float underneath the top layer of the water, but they are almost pulled, just not aggressively, but just pulled down as if there was a hand pinching on the fabric, pulling it down into the water. And you can feel that same thing happening to you, just as if two hands were on your feet, slowly trying to pull you down. Not aggressively, but just slowly trying to pull you down. You let it happen.
Interesting. I mean, is it like a comforting thing?
Yeah, it definitely feels good. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like somebody's trying to drown you. It just feels like you are being pulled by a friend.
Then yes.
Okay. So, as you do and are pulled underneath the waves, for a moment you hesitate, you hold your breath. But then you hear a voice that is in and of itself tumultuous, like a crashing wave on the bow of a ship, but soft and relaxing, like waves lapping against a shore. And the feminine voice speaks and says, "Anytime you need a home, Vanas Talmor, you may find it with me. You may find it with me." And that warm, almost current of waves swirls around you and lifts you back up above the water. You're not wet. You're completely dry. And you feel as though nothing is pushing you anymore, or pulling you. And that small bit of tabard is gone, completely consumed by the waves. And you can just slowly feel the waves begin to lap around your ankles and knock into your calves, and then eventually settle back into the water.
Barnas just smiles. Thank you for everything. And he'll turn and make his way back to the city and to the Silver Rose.
Okay, alrighty. So with that, Varnast, you head there to the chateau, and you can see just as you get there, your friends are just about to knock on the door, and that is where we're going to go ahead and take a break right before the dinner. So we're going to take a quick, maybe 5-minute break, and then we will be right back to see what happens in this afternoon luncheon here. Okay, so continue to tune in, and we will be right back.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay, beer PG.
We are live again. Welcome to the stream. My name is Joseph, and I am your dungeon master, and unaware of what voice I'm doing right now.
Duncan, he's dead. Thanks for reminding me.
Mechanics, I'm not dead. I'm merely a... Never mind. I don't want to spoil anything. Okay. So, with that, we're going to roll the intro, and we're just going to jump back in. Intro time! Boom. Bada bing, bada boom, we're back. All right, so picking up from Trouble. My dude, no, you can't eat the cupcake. Okay, Trouble. All right, here we go. I'm so sorry. Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, don't want to put
Trouble
a cat
is
mark on the
Charlie.
screen. Oh, there he is. Yep, welcome, it's Charlie. Okay, there we go. Whoa, that was terrible. Okay, stay down there. So, picking up where we left off, after a rather calm morning and a little bit of shopping being done, some items being picked up, the party had decided that they were today, of all days, going to go to the Silver Rose to hash out the sort of final deal that they were going to make, and then potentially give him his flower back, or not his flower, his feather back.
Yeah, that's gone for good.
We'll see what happens.
Ew. What?
Give him his feather back. However, before they did that, they had to go to Jalissa to gather the feather, and then Varnast had a few items he needed to pick up and needed to have a moment with Estitia, a farewell of a sort. Not a goodbye, but a perhaps see you later is the better way to phrase that. So that emotional moment happened. He made his way to the chateau, and as he gets his way there, he can see his 4 friends, the people that he definitely doesn't ever feel alone with. So the 5 of them now recombined in front of the Silver Rose's door. It's up to one of you to be the one to knock.
I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Onyx, you head up to the door and you knock.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear a man's voice shout out, just one moment, please. One moment. And then, as he said, just after a few moments, a man opens the door. And it is none other than the Silver Rose. As he opens the door and says, "Oh, well, it is a pleasant surprise to see all of you here. To what do I owe the pleasure?"
We were hoping for a conversation.
Yes, please. Sadly, I don't have anything prepared. Meal-wise, I maybe have some wine.
That's
I
quite
could
alright.
offer.
None of us are actually hungry.
Oh, well, good then. Please, come with me. We can go back to my garden. So, that all of you head to the garden. And let me go ahead and he leads you back into his small, through the very, very extravagant mansion, and leads you into out the back of the mansion and into his garden in the back of his house, and leads the 5 of you into his small living area where it seems as though he actually presides. So,
you all there, and reload the scene. And let me delete all these guys here. Crime. So, pull all to scene. Okay. So, with that, all of you can see that you are all inside the house now. Door left open, and the windows are currently open as well, as all of you sit inside. And he says, well, so you said you had something you wished to discuss with me. Please get comfortable and sit wherever you like. And you can see him enter and go over to a small desk and sit there.
Well, Cyrus, did you want to go first, or should I?
No, you go ahead.
I have been wanting to come and see you. I have many questions about her. But first, I think we have found what you're looking for.
You have?
Yes. I'm almost certain of it.
Then show it to me, and if you do, I'll know. You truly do.
I want you to promise you'll still help me.
With Malcanthit?
Yes. You're
Yes.
the only hope I have.
Yes, if you do have it, and it is true, I will do everything in my power to make sure that we can destroy her for once and for all. If that flower is given back to me, there's no limit to how I can help.
Okay. Cyrus?
And new Efera as well.
New Efera? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're clearly very skilled and powerful. I mean, we would need your help.
Well, yes, I suppose I could help with that.
We would be helping liberate a number of people and bringing about a sense of peace and freedom these lands haven't seen for quite some time. And from what I gather, that's something that is important to your people.
Well, yes, of course. I just, from anything that I've heard from the governor or the law bearers, that the forces that are amassing are insurmountable, that New Efera won't even be able to hold out from a siege, even if there were one. And the governor and Ulf are fairly confident that there won't be necessary.
Correct. In these days, it's always good to have more allies than enemies.
Of course, if this is what you wish for me to come with you to the city of New Efera and just be present? Is that?
Yes, I mean the priority is Malcanthit, but I mean, we wouldn't say no to any help.
Of course, I just I don't have a problem with that. All of you are doing me a great favor, and if this is true, if you have truly found it, I will be in your debt. I just... There is just... laws and order to follow when it comes to this.
Of course, I am forever in your debt, and I'd always be willing to help, but you understand that in order for balance to be maintained, I can't continue to come to aid time after time.
I believe we understand, and we don't expect you to drop everything and save us, so to speak. I feel as though we are quite capable of handling ourselves. Again, we just know that you are very powerful in your own way, and we just, again, want to have you as an ally. That is all.
Of course, and as I said, I have no problem to coming to New Efera, and especially helping with Malcanthid. As I said, that is my true duty and pledge to this, but if it makes all of you feel better, I'm willing to help. I just want all of you to know that for everything I do for you to help the people of this world, the demons of the abyss and the devils of the nine hells, they, in what is right and fair with law and order, they may strike back in whichever way they see fit. Balance must be maintained, and when I tip the scale in the favor of good, they tip the scale in the name of evil, till balance is achieved.
I don't know if we need him in New Efera.
Well, I mean, do we?
Do we want to invite that?
No offense. I mean,
Oh,
no offense, darling, but do we need this?
Well, I don't think our goal is to tip any scales or any balance. Again, just a friendship and an ally if needed. But you're right, with New Efera, I feel as though we confidently have the upper hand.
Of
But
course.
with
Exactly. I mean, perhaps we've made a mistake. Sure. Sorry to bother you.
It's
What's the
Cyrus.
worst?
You're not
We
bothering
still
me.
need to return what is rightfully
Hmm?
his.
Cyrus,
So,
have you
go
forgotten
on.
that I have 3 months to live? If that.
3 months.
No.
Yes. 3 months.
Then go on and give him the feather.
You have
Well, it's
it. And you see him kind of stand and begin to edge closer. If you have it.
Hang on. Well, you see, I was in Sunken City Bay, and a lovely gentleman under the employ of Duradine Dupree, in fact, tried to get this, and well, yours truly won the game, and I won my prize.
Yes, but you have to understand the means at which that was taken from me.
Cyrus, I
Yes,
told you I would never ask you for this, but you offered it. Are you backing out now?
No, I did, and you can see him kind of like, he's not got it out, but he's kind of like clutching the bag of holding to himself. No, I'm not backing
Alec
out
is
at
gonna
all.
step behind Cyrus, not aggressively, just concerned, and gently put her hand on his shoulder. Well, you know what you have to do.
Well, yes, it's yeah. I mean no disrespect. I know it's yours. It's been with me some time now.
Yes, it has.
Cyrus,
Since it is
what?
mine, I would like it back. Takes another step closer.
Alec is gonna squeeze his shoulder a little tighter. Cyrus, you should really give him it back now.
Well, I mean, of course, it's just, would it really hurt just to? I mean, you can tell us about my canfit first, surely. I mean, I'm sure you can sense it.
Can I do an insight check on Cyrus again, or was my other one it?
He's acting much different now than he was before. I'd say you can go ahead and make another insight check.
Could
Cyrus,
I as well? Can I feel him tensing?
I was gonna join in on that if I was allowed.
Yeah, sure. And then Cyrus, go ahead and make a deception check.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, gotta be
God
a
damn it.
19 here.
Oh, you fucking damn.
Fuck!
You bitch. That's still good though. That's still a good roll. Damn it.
Yeah.
Obviously
It's just
something's
not
wrong.
good
Come
enough.
on.
Well, I
Come
mean,
on.
I think we know that. We just
Yeah,
don't know like
something's-
what exactly is going on.
Something's wrong, but and
Yeah.
Jamie, I'll let you say. How are you trying to? Are you trying? Which way are you trying to push them? Because with a 23, they know something's up, but for you, which way are you trying to push them away from the truth? Like, which direction are you trying to push them?
I think Cyrus would be trying to push them towards like, well, he's getting kind of like, I mean, the Silver Rose is starting to get a bit pushy, you know. Surely we should find out what he's trying to figure out first, right? And just trying to like misdirect from the attention of him giving it away immediately.
And that's definitely the vibe you get. Like, there's no underlying thing. It just seems like Cyrus is really nervous about giving this thing up.
I'm going to cast Calm Emotions.
On who?
20-foot radius. I mean,
Oh shit! It's on all of us.
Cyrus, I know you may be nervous, but he's done everything that he can to prove to us that we can trust him. So this is our opportunity to prove that he can trust us.
Well, but I think we're being rather hasty still. I mean, what do we know about this, you know, succubus queen? Other than, I know you only have 3 months, dear, but I think it's rather beneficial to us all to find out as much as we can. I mean, you know, we're not going anywhere just yet. We've still got, it's an early day.
Cyrus, take this from the guy who up until very recently was the party asshole. You're being kind of a dick right now.
I'm gonna stand up and cast Calm Emotions centered on Cyrus. And I put the effects into the chat because it's saying I can't cast it and I have no second level spell slots. Well, can't I cast it at a higher level? I don't know.
Weird.
Because all of my spells are 3rd, 4th? I don't even remember.
You can, when you go to click on it, you can just unclick consume spell slot, and that allows you to cast it.
Oh, okay. Shit. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're... Oh, wow. I rolled for everybody. Look at that.
Oh.
We all rolled so high! Except Alec.
Yeah, Cyrus made the save.
Oh my god, of course he did. Alec is vibing.
Cyrus, please.
Alec is gonna like slowly like start to reach for the bag. Like maybe it would make him feel better if he wasn't the one to give it away. If you want, I can do this.
No. No.
Okay.
That won't be
Okay.
necessary.
Please, Cyrus.
And he'll like gonna start like edging away, like he kind of like
You
like,
are
kind of
going
like-
anywhere, buddy. Alec has her hand on her
Double-
shoulder.
well, he was gonna try and kind of like wriggle, not like forcefully, but trying, you know, like, do you know when,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
do you know how like cats are liquid?
Yeah,
He'd be doing that.
I know exactly what you mean.
Can I attempt to like tighten my hold?
Yeah, make an athletics check, and Cyrus make an acrobatics check. trying to wriggle away, trying to.
I'm so confused. What is happening?
Oh,
Oh shit! Damn. Okay.
but she's got a +7 though.
Yeah. Okay. So Cyrus, you try and wriggle, but Alec is strong, and she's taller than you. She is holding you firmly as you try and wriggle and move away. And you can see the Silver Rose sort of cock his head, and one of his eyebrows shoots up. And he says, "He doesn't normally act like this, does he?"
No.
No.
And Morgana can see her
I-
tears, like very visibly upset. She knows something is wrong, but she doesn't know what it is.
I assure you, I'm being no different to usual. I think you're all being rather strange.
Tell me,
Cyrus,
has
why
there
are
been
you trying
anything?
to pull away? We're my friends. I don't understand why you're.
Yes, but you're all surrounding me. We come as friends. I just want a discussion with, just to talk.
Tell me, has there been anything in the past several days that has happened that would cause him to be different? Caused him to act different? Anything you can think of at all?
3 of us almost died.
He helped butcher a pig.
It was for dinner, and we all took part. It was tradition, and he said it was good.
Yes.
He was helping me this morning with my room, and he was fine.
No. Nothing like that.
He's been fine all day.
I don't know why you're talking about me like I'm not here. I'm here.
Cyrus, can I have the bag?
No, it's mine.
It's
It-
ours, actually. I gave it to you.
I don't like the attitude that's brewing in here.
There's no reason to
Cyrus,
get
never-
angry, Cyrus.
I'm not angry, Alec. You're hurting my shoulder, dear.
I'm so sorry. I don't understand what's happening. You've never been mean to me before.
Oh.
Cyrus, I'd like you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okie dokie.
Because he's not charismatic at all.
Yeah. He's only got like what, a +2 charisma?
Shit.
The one time you roll low.
Fucker.
But Alec will like.
Yep, nope. You still feel selfish. You want this. You need this.
What the fuck?
I will say, Joe. Like, I don't know if you caught it before you left. Like, when he said that, like, Alec was legitimately like upset. Like, she felt bad, so she did let go.
Oh,
He's,
okay.
like,
Oh
Like-
no.
I mean, that's what she literally. Cyrus has never said a mean thing to her ever,
No.
and so she literally took like she was so taken aback she let go because she didn't want to hurt him.
So Cyrus, grip drops. You're free.
He's just gonna start like edging, like slowly. He's not like running, but he is like slowly edging, like back from people.
Were you upset about the bugs? I'm sorry. I thought they were just they're
No,
friends.
no, Alex, your room looks wonderful. I just think we're being rather rash. Perhaps we came at a bad time. I can see you were quite busy.
Cyrus, why are you doing this? This isn't you.
I think you're all acting rather strange.
Cyrus, have you received any gifts in the past few days?
What are you No, like this is. You're all coming at me rather strong, and I don't appreciate it.
Well, Cyrus, you're acting a little fucking weird right now. What's going on?
I'm not being fucking weird. He told me it's mine, and I deserve it.
Who told you that?
Who told you?
No one.
Cyrus, I think you need to give me the bag. And Alex is gonna take a step towards him.
Cyrus is gonna cast Dimension Door.
Counterspell.
Did I
the
try to
silver
grab
rose.
it before, or is this happening at the same time?
Nope.
Fuck.
The silver rose counterspells it using a 5th level spell slot. No,
An 8th level?
5th level.
Oh, I was like, what?
No, wouldn't that be fucking crazy? He
Oh my God.
counterspells it. The small purple portal opens up and then immediately vanishes. He says, "No, someone grab him."
I
I'm
tackle
gonna
him.
cast Hold Person.
Okay, Cyrus, I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw for hold person.
Okay.
Yeah. Fail.
Fantastic.
Do I have to roll anything as I just tackle him to the ground?
you
like,
and Alec
full-
both just like tackle him and like wrap up around him, and he is unable to move, unable to use any type of material or somatic components.
Get the bag. Get the bag. Get it now.
Take
I got
the
him.
bag.
I'll grab the bag.
Okay, at that point, I'd say, Cyrus, you can make another Wisdom saving throw. 6 seconds pass as they take the bag off of you, grab it themselves, and
Nope.
another failure. Okay, alrighty, cool. So with that, the bag comes off him, throws it up to you, Morganix. And what are you doing with the bag? Are you reaching in for the feather, or... Right? Reaching in for the feather?
Someone?
Who took the bag?
Morganix has it.
Okay,
But I don't
Morganix
know
has
if
it.
if she's being picked up. Are you there?
Hello? I'm
Hi,
here.
there she is.
Okay, so you have the bag, right?
Yeah.
And then what are you reaching in for the feather? What are you doing?
I'm putting it behind me and taking some steps away from him, and I'm just gonna say, Cyrus, I'm so sorry. Because I'm casting magic on my friend, and I love him.
I can't talk or anything, right?
No, yeah, you are completely paralyzed. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
another wisdom saving throw. Nope, you are still frozen. Still paralyzed. Tell me, and now the silver rose, was there anything he received in the past 3 or 4 days that was extravagant, wonderful, more than any of his wishes or dreams or desires?
The card.
Cards.
The cards? Wait, do you mean...
Oh no, not the Sicario music.
Are they on Cyrus's person or in the bag?
They're in the bag, I would
That just
assume.
depends. Cyrus, where are they?
Oh,
He's
no.
got them. He doesn't. No, they're. I'm not just saying this to Matt again. They're genuinely not in the bag. He has them in his
Okay.
inner pocket in his coat, like on his
Yeah,
inner breast pocket.
Makes sense, yeah.
Would we know that though? That he put them there?
Wouldn't, probably.
No, I mean
I'll
he's
try
not
looking in the
advertised.
bag for them,
he's
but
never
I'm
advertised it.
guessing, yeah, I figure out pretty quickly they're not in there.
Okay, you reach into the bag, you try and conjure the image of the deck and pull it out, nothing comes out. He says, where did he get those from?
The
In the cove.
Golden Cove?
No, that's not possible. There never was a deck. That item is too powerful. That I know what was in that cove. I know the power of the things that were in there. That's not something that was in there.
That's where
They
we found it though.
He drew a
chest.
card and received a lot of jewelry.
Where is that jewelry?
Morganix is crying now, just quietly.
Where is that jewelry?
I'll summon a piece out of the bag.
Let me see that.
I think he also used some to buy items with.
Yeah.
He did what now?
He bought things like you people do. with
Yes, I
commons.
understand. Cyrus, go ahead and make another wisdom saving throw.
Please.
Which side are you rooting for?
Oh, fuck! Still frozen, still paralyzed. That is not
God
good.
damn! How does that happen?
That is not good.
Why? What do you think happened? What's going on?
I don't know exactly, but there are things. There are things that with those who are specially talented with magic, that there are entities that reach out
that place taunting gifts, things that seem too good to be true, that are the most amazing, delightful thing anyone could ever want, and it puts them right in front of their face. It gives them something that they can't say no to. I'm assuming that he is a chaotic person. I'm sure the tides of chaos swirl around him, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
You might
you've
say
taken
that.
it away, so he's okay now, right?
I don't think anybody's gotten the deck out, right?
No.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
did
It's
we
not in
deduce
the bag.
it's not in the bag?
it's not.
Oh,
I start going through his pockets.
Okay,
Then.
go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage, Varnas, since he's currently paralyzed, frozen up on the ground.
All right, my specialty, investigation. All right, but with advantage, so try again. Damn it.
With that, you pat around in the pockets, and you just can't find it. Feeling for his pants pockets, through any... If you tat on the jackets, but it's just not there. You don't feel it anywhere
got too
between
many pockets.
the interlayered levels of cloth. You just don't feel it anywhere. Is it on him? Is it on him right now?
I don't think
I think-
so.
It's not in the bag.
All right. Go ahead and make another...
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'll roll this. But
Oh my god!
oh my god,
Wow! Shit!
When it happens to someone.
Is Nalfi in here?
kidding me?
This...
Wow, I'm gonna fucking. I need to change these fucking dice. This is stupid.
Hey,
You
welcome
can
to
use-
my world, buddy.
Cyrus, you can use lucky if you want.
Oh yeah.
Why would you put that out there?
Oh, my
Chelsea?
Discord's being funny. Yeah, absolutely, I'm going to. I'm
Okay.
going to spend a point of luck.
Okay.
Let's tick that off. Let's try again.
Still a no, dog.
Oops, did not mean to hit that.
Okay.
Uh, While I'm paralyzed, can I hear all of this?
Yeah, you can
But I
hear
just
all of it.
can't talk or respond, right?
Yeah, you're just
Okay.
paralyzed, but everything, all of your senses are still working. You just can't move at all.
So, sorry, I don't know anything about this, but what exactly has reached out to him?
I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly, but these things, they reach out and they grab hold. And
Well, if I hit him hard enough, will it go away?
No, it won't. It's a curse. You're familiar with curses, right? It's something that is binding to him.
Varnas, you cured him of a curse once, didn't you?
Yes.
Can you do that?
I can do it tomorrow. Didn't think I need to remove curses today. Sorry.
Could we just tie him to a chair until you can?
Give me the feather and I can do it. If you give me the feather, I can fix him.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Cyrus. I wanted this to be your choice. I didn't want to steal it or take it from you. But I'm gonna reach in the bag and look for the feather.
Okay, easy enough. You reach in, you think of it, you conjure it. Cyrus, go ahead and make one more wisdom saving throw.
I'm going to use lucky again.
Okay, all right. Just automatically roll with advantage.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Ah!
Fuck.
You unfreeze. Varnast and Alec are still holding you. What do you do?
He's going to pretend he's still frozen for a minute.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Alrighty, sounds good. Yeah, you just don't loosen up at all. You just continue to be tense. There's so much tensity that Alec, Varnas, the two of you don't really notice. And you see Morganix reach into the bag and pull out the small cloth that the feather is wrapped around. And then you see her begin to move her hand over towards the silver rose as he begins to walk towards her. You see him go to reach his hand out. You doing anything?
Not yet.
And you see him grab the feather.
and it is now out of Morganix's hands and into his. And you see him place it up against his chest and just slowly begin to flatten out his hand, pushing the feather into his chest. And you can see, for Varnast, Alec, Morganix, and Selah, and Cyrus, all of you, you have to shield your eyes as, in this moment, as the feather is being pressed into his chest, you can see that his skin begins to glow, this illuminating bright white yellow, completely almost blinding the 5 of you in here, as he is just beginning to shift and form and change. And it is taking a while, as you can see just feather by feather out of his back, just growing one by one by one. Any of the gaudy material plain clothing that was on him begins to shed away, as there are just these heavenly robes that are replaced on his body, and his true form begins to take form. And eventually, unless you do anything in the meantime, as Varnast and Alec, the 2 of you are a little stunned, sort of staring at the light, trying to block away, but still just unable to really see anything. Cyrus, are you doing anything?
Not yet. You can't. Not at the moment.
Okay, so with that, then, you can see eventually his form fade as the light slowly disappears from the room, and for a moment, he's gone. For a moment, he is no longer there. But then, in a radiant burst of light, he returns to the room. And you can see him standing in front of all of you, much larger than what he once was, but angelic and absolutely beautiful. A perfect being of divinity and light. And you can see him standing in front of all of you, this almost teal green skin, these blazing bright white eyes, heavenly robes, sandals, and a wingspan, probably 6 feet on each side. And he stands in front of all of you. And he is there. The silver rose. So he stands angelic, a planetar. And with that, he begins to move towards Varnast and Alec, and his voice doesn't it's not that same smooth, relaxed voice. It is this booming voice that fills the entire chamber, and all he says is, "Move," and lifts his hand up towards Cyrus and begins to slowly bring his hand down.
As he says move, at this point Cyrus will still appear like he's paralyzed, but the moment Varnast moves, Cyrus will say, "I'm sorry. He said it was mine," and subtle spell a dimension door underneath him.
Oh, shit.
I will link subtle spell if you need it.
Fuck, yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm familiar. Well
Verbal
played.
Or somatic components.
No.
Oh, God.
No.
Does Dimension Door have any material components?
I don't think it does.
No, it's just verbal.
Yep.
Bitch.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
More with him. I didn't move away yet. Wow.
Fuck. As he reaches his hand down towards you, you can see this divine energy begin to pour from his fingertips, channeled towards you, Varnast and Alec, as you just begin to move away so you aren't potentially harmed by this divine energy. There is a flash of purple underneath Cyrus, and he is gone. Disappears. There was no voice, there was no movement to him. He just slowly cocked his head up and vanished, falling in through the floor as you can see the Silver Rose stares in disbelief and dismay as the four of you share a look, unsure of where Cyrus went and unsure of what to do next.
No.
And that is where we're gonna end tonight's session. I know. But
Hot garbage.
You're a
holy-
bitch.
No, bitch. I
What
can't
just
handle.
happened?
Oh
Where
my,
did you go? You asshat.
holy shit.
You were mean to Alec, and she is so hurt.
No, that almost like I had to do it true to the character, but when you said that, I was like, no.
Feel it.
Ah!
Stunned. Cyrus has been nothing but kind to her. And then you do this shit.
Oh my fucking god.
How dare you?
Is it because of the sandwiches? I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. Not how I thought today was gonna go at all.
The same.
Holy fuck.
Same.
What the fuck just happened?
Let me clarify. That was never my original intention.
Downtime in Efera sucks.
Remember when it was nice and happy and we were just doing some training and
We were
stuff?
Got
vibing.
a cat together.
Hats and filling out a house.
Talk about massive energies in a session. Like, I'm gonna go get a mouser. And I'm gonna train, and I'm going to listen to this thing that's telling me what to do, and oh god, it's not even telling you. Oh god, I'll stop talking. Oh my god, Jamie, I applaud your commitment, and
Did that voice really only start talking to him fucking today?
Not to spoil anything, the voice he heard, it makes sense.
Fuck.
Comfy.
Oh god.
Emerald told him to do it because he's a bitch. I knew Emerald
God.
was the ultimate villain. Never trust him.
We have to find our friend.
Fucking where?
How?
Where?
Well,
Where
he
would
can't be
Cyrus
more than
go?
500 feet away.
Oh,
That's
good. That narrows
Fucking
it down.
jacked it
We just check every brothel in town. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
out. We get Boglin to smell the area he was standing in, and we got a fucking bloodhound on our hands. and it's just gonna-
God, yeah, how far? Because oh fuck, you're like right on the edge of the city too, so he could just disappear outside of the city.
Yep.
That's I am.
Yeah,
bloodhound
yeah,
on
he
our hands.
could.
500, because 500 feet would be the
That's-
entirety of the chateau
Uh-huh.
or outside of the city.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
Hiding your bitch ass. Don't you think we're not?
This is a job for Dogalin.
Is
Yeah,
my baby boy.
gotta
I
go,
can't-
gotta get the job done.
I can't wait to meet your new character, Jamie.
No!
We gotta save our friend.
How are we
Oh
gonna
my
find
God.
him?
We
gotta find him.
will.
All
But how?
Friendship, you cocksuck.
What does that mean? What level spell is that? What does it do?
Oh my god. Okay, alright. I guess we'll stop. We'll go ahead and end the stream. So that way you don't just stare at me just making faces because I'm still in fucking shock and awe.
This is why we can't have nice things.
God. God damn. Well, thank you,
could-
everybody.
You couldn't let Efera not be depressing for just like one session. You couldn't let us have it for one session. God damn.
This is why you shouldn't have let Cyrus have the deck of many things. That's all I'm saying.
We didn't really have a choice.
I would have loved to have seen us stop him.
Yeah.
There wasn't a chance in hell.
Anyways, go on.
Oh, God. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And please tune in next week, because what the fuck? Yeah, I think that's the best way to phrase it. What the
fuck?
The absolute hell. Thank you for watching. Tune in next Friday to see where Cyrus went and what's going to happen there. And then from there we can... we'll see what happens. Or tune in tomorrow for the Isles of Iverian as they delve deep into a dungeon of things and stuff. Don't want to say too much. Or for Tuesday for the Salamander Coast, where they are also delving in deep dungeons, except it's way more dark. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you greatly, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Woo! Where Cyrus went. Oh, God. All right. Farewell.
Bye.